Hello, everyone. Jackie Tomlin here, and welcome to another episode of When a Spirit Speaks podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Had a great week. Enjoyed your long holiday weekend as we're getting ready to move forward into the month of June. Really, really excited about today's episode. But first, let me start with giving off the contact information. If you're seeking a psychic reading or any way or want to talk to me about the podcast or anything else, contact me on my website at JackieTomlin.com. Direct email is Jackie@JackieTomlin.com. Okay. If you want to look into my YouTube channel, it would be youtube.com/psychic Jackie. This is where you will find your readings daily, weekly, monthly, all the time. Okay. And if you're looking for the paranormal entrance, it's youtube.com/CVAPI video, one word. Okay. Phone number 804-731-2302. So I'm really excited about today's episode. Shout out to my friend Janelle for inspiring this episode. And what we're talking about today, we're talking about raising your vibration around your household. Believe it or not, yes, I work as a psychic. It doesn't mean that I communicate with spirit 24/7. I get off time just as well as you do. And it is raising the vibration. We're going to talk about crystals, smudging, incense, herbs, plants, meditations, etc. You know, we've done one episode on Reiki, but this is something totally different. We're talking about your environment. We're talking about your space. Okay, we're talking about a lifestyle change here. You know, if you're familiar with my readings, I will often tell you choose happy. Just choose happy. It is a choice. Okay, so you know, raising the vibration in your household, that is a choice as well. But like I said, it is a lifestyle change. It's like if you quit smoking, you change your lifestyle. If you go in the fitness route, it's a change of lifestyle. Raising that vibration, it's a change of lifestyle. Okay. So, you know, and do it gradually. I will say that. Now I want to start with I was given some abundance cards, the Angels of Abundance, which I usually use on Sunday night. Two cards came to mind that I want to read directly from the card. Okay. And the first one we have here is an abundance mindset. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in your future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and then what you will experience. Okay. And the other one says, do the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. So yeah. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Okay. Yes, it's when spirit speaks, but when spirit doesn't speak, or when spirit's quiet, or, you know, you're alone or whatever, it's your environment. It's your environment. Your environment is crucial. Your environment is important. One thing I really want to stress is your environment in your bedroom. Make sure your bedroom is your oasis. This is the time that you relax. We're going to use my home as an example, okay? There is nothing pertaining to my work in my bedroom. Nothing. There's nothing pertaining to my everyday life in my bedroom, other than my clothes, of course, my closet, things like that. But your bedroom needs to be stress-free. And, you know, it needs to be basic. It needs to be things that make you happy, and it needs to be the colors that inspire you, okay? Let's get into the crystals. You know, guys, I love the crystals. My home is covered in crystals, particularly my living room, my office, my kitchen. I think there might be some in the bedroom, but especially my living room. Now, let's give a shout out to another friend of mine, which is Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann was one of my, let's say, care providers during my time and my struggle with my health. She and her husband have taken me to a surgery. She has taken me to more than one doctor's appointment. And more than once, she's come out here just to cook dinner. Okay. And the vibration in my house, she's a yoga instructor. And she will tell you that the vibration in my house was so off the chart. She moved my crystals to my office. And it's because it's been a gradual process for me over the years, over the course of time of building that vibration. Okay. And getting the balance of things. We're going to talk about some feng shui too, how to balance things. And to me, it's fine. To my daughters, my granddaughter, it's fine. You know, this is the environment we're in. It is very high vibrational. I've been told that it's very homey feeling. It's very comfortable feeling. It just has a different feel to it. It's the vibration has been risen. Okay. So how we go about this, it's called my crystals. And I do have several. And let me tell you this too. I want to tell you this. When she moved those crystals out, I felt worse the next day and had to call and ask her where they were. It's like the best we could describe it is maybe I had a withdrawal. Because to be honest with you, I've had crystals and like a little satchel under my pillow in the hospital too. Just saying, never hurts. Okay, so a lot of you have inquired. I'm going to tell you, these are just some of the crystals. These are the primary ones that are throughout my house, particularly, like I said, my living room and in my office. Okay. And the number one we're going to start with, which is my favorite, it's amethyst. My favorite color is purple. This is a purple crystal. It represents your third eye. It represents your clairvoyance. And I think everyone in life should have an amethyst in it. Okay. Rose quartz, pink colored crystal. Okay. Youthful appearance. It represents love. Represents love. Not like you're trying to draw love into your love life. It just represents love in general. Now, I also want to mention that we're going to get into that some of these are raw and some of these are tumbled, and you know what the difference of that looks like. So let's pause right there. Where my amethyst crystals are raw, so they're kind of rocky looking. Okay. It's kind of like a geode, and it's kind of rocky looking. Where a tumbled stone is a stone that someone has actually taken the time to polish. It does not affect the strength of them. It does not affect the power of them, but it is a preference. Okay. And there is a difference between a raw and tumbled stone. Okay. Clear quartz, spiritual growth, spiritual growth. Tiger's eye, inner strength. I love a tiger's eye. Love a tiger's eye. Centron, success or money stone. Okay. A jade, serenity, harmony, and balance. The black obsidian. This is your energy shield. This is the warrior of the crystals. Do not overdo the black obsidian. It's a very, very powerful one. Okay. I only have one, and it's at my front door. Okay. That black obsidian as the warrior stone is your protection stone. So if someone's coming in with evil intent, they're not going to pass that stone. But it is very powerful, and I recommend that you only have one of these. Okay. Turquoise. Let's talk about turquoise. How many of y'all notice I'm always covered in turquoise? Okay. It's good luck. It's good fortune. It's good for balance. But turquoise is a very powerful physical healing stone. And for what I've been through, I mean, I was known, God, throughout my 20s and 30s, I always wore turquoise. I had many, many pieces. Some of those pieces are being passed off to my daughter. But it is a stone that I prefer. It is a stone that I'm very comfortable with. And if it has anything to do with my physical healing, which I continue on that journey, yeah, you will find turquoise. Today's necklace of choice, rose quartz, amethyst, white quartz. So we have the love, the third eye, and the spiritual all together in one. And have fun with these. Have fun with these. Also, I didn't have it written down here, but I do have blue lapis. Okay, and blue lapis, imagine this. I forgot I have blue lapis. Has to do with your memory. And for some of you, you know, after what I've been through, I do struggle with my short-term memory. So there is a lot, a lot of blue lapis in the living room. Okay. Also was given by my friend Malibu, 2 white quartz towers that are quite amazing. Quite amazing. They're also in the living room as well. Yeah, let's talk about these crystals. Let's talk about where we get them. Oh, Joanne, another friend, she sent me a picture of her magic shop in her area. And sometimes you have them and sometimes we don't. We have one here, but it's way across town for us and they work odd hours. Okay. And sometimes it's just kind of hard to buy crystals online. You don't know if you're getting the real thing or if you're getting something made or whatever. So yes, I have a crystal dealer. Don't we all? It's kind of like a person that, you know, has hay for the horses. You don't give up your hay dealer. You don't give up your drug dealer, I guess. You don't give up your crystal dealer, but I do because I love her dealer. And she's in New Jersey. Okay. Her name is Nicole Colley. She goes by Nikki. You will find her contact information is on my website under fun and shopping. Fun stuff and shopping, I think is what it is. There's an email address for her. So email her, tell her what you're looking for, tell her what you're looking to accomplish. She will send you recommendations. She will send you pictures and you let her know that Jackie sent you. She will send you a discount. I'm going to say 80% of my crystals have come from her and I have been more than pleased. More than pleased. And she has the figurines too. Like I've got, I forgot what stone it is, but I have an elephant. And then I have the heart shape in the rose quartz. She's got a large variety. This is her thing. She does work full time. So, you know, bear that in mind. But you would not be disappointed. And I could not recommend a better person if crystal route is the way you want to go. Okay. And like I said, I like because you can let her know what you want to accomplish. She can pretty much match that up for you, send pictures of what she has. And if you request something and she doesn't have it, which I highly doubt, believe me, there's an extensive inventory with her. I highly doubt there's something she doesn't have. She will absolutely get it for you. Okay. All right. Let's talk about a little bit of the feng shui. Now this, I can give you, like I said, what goes on in my house. Okay. But this is something that you need to research because I think it works really, really well with the crystals. Okay. This is my thing. This is my thing. Like I said, I was so excited when we touched base on this, that this is something that we're going to bring to the podcast and put out there. And the feng shui is simply, it's the arrangement and the flow of energy. And it's the flow of energy by your items, what you own. Is it metal? Is it wood? Is it a mirror? Let's talk about mirrors. Oh my goodness. Now, Ruth Ann, the reason I don't think she realizes the reason she could not handle the energy in my living room. Mirrors doubles the energy of what it reflects. I have an entire mirrored living room wall. There are mirrors throughout this house. Someone did a count one time. I think it was like 40. I have like 40 mirrors in this house. That energy bounces everywhere, everywhere. But in the living room, seriously, there is an entire mirrored wall. And I meant to let her know that that is probably why she felt that vibration was just, like she said, she felt like her head was going to explode. But that's what it come from. Anyway, those mirror placements are also part of your feng shui. Okay. Now, when you come into my home, I have a white marble table that dates back to the early 1800s, come from the farmhouse that I grew up in. It was one of my grandma's favorite pieces, and it is to the left. When you open the door, that's the first thing you see. It's the first thing you're going to pass. There are several things on there. There's several of my crystals on there. Just several that my neighbor calls it my altar. It's not my altar. It's not my altar by no means. I have no altar. Okay. But I do have a metal cross that is totally awesome. It is made of horseshoes. It is handmade, and I love that. That's in my living room as well. And because it's metal, it's placed on a specific wall. There again, the feng shui, the flow of energy. Now, going back to this white marble table, white marble represents grounding and calming. It's at the entrance of my door. Now, what else will you find on that marble table? You might find some sage. You might find my abundance bowl. you might find that black obsidian. My daughter always laughs about what the hell she just walked by, is what she says. What have I just walked by? What have I walked into? Because you have no choice but to pass this table when you come in. Okay. And my granddaughter can tell you everything about it. So the grounding and the calming, and part of that is going back to that black obsidian, the warrior, the protection of what's coming into my home. The sage, the removing of the negativity when you come into my home. Some fresh basil as money drawing. And I do grow basil. I have a whole herb garden. Well, I did before I was ill. Lavender, relaxation, peace, calm, harmony. You will find all sorts of things on there. And what you will also find, you will find my singing bowl, which is a fan favorite of both me and my granddaughter. That singing bowl, if you've never used one to raise the vibration, it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I would love to hear your stories on how your singing bowl or a bell affects your animal in your home. I have a very hyper grand dog that is a blue heeler, very hyper, and you hit that sound bowl and she will stop dead in her tracks and just lay down and enjoy the vibration of it. It is an amazing thing. There's a bell in my office, kind of the same way, just to raise that vibration. Other things, bamboo, good luck. Mine's in my kitchen. Okay, it's near my kitchen window where the morning sun comes in. Bamboo for good luck. Bonsai tree, money drawing, as well as basil. I kill every one of them. It's not meant for me to have money, apparently. Your metals, okay? Your metals. When we're talking about metals, we're talking about wrought iron, metal things that are in your living space. Okay, your metals are simplicity and clarity. And while your wood is your wealth, health, and your family. Whether that be your furniture, and it could go as far as like a woven basket. And don't forget your mirrors. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. Oh yes, something else on that marble table is a salt lamp. The Himalayan salt lamp. I do have two of them, one in the front of the house, one in the back of the house. I do believe in them. My granddaughter now believes in them because she goes through and watches how the salt actually disintegrates. It's something of the size of a regular rock can eventually turn down to a chip depending on what's emitted in the air. Now, another fun fact that I learned from Ruth Ann was lemons. And I think I've talked about this on my YouTube channel before. The placements of your lemons, they're all over the house. And it's so funny because no one notices them. And then once they notice them, it's like a quest. They're in every room trying to find my lemons. It's the funniest thing ever. And then I have a bowl of them that are older and dried up. They call them my petrified lemons. And I leave them in there and I give them to people. And I give them away. I don't throw away. I go through randomly. And yes, I'm talking about a bag of lemons that you simply pick up at the grocery store. You are going to be absolutely amazed by what happens with your vibration, your atmosphere with a bag of lemons. They're placed throughout the home strategically. There's a couple in there on the night. There's a couple on my nightstand. There's a couple on the end tables. There's one on the centerpiece in the kitchen. There's one on top of the refrigerator. There's one in the bathroom. There's a couple in Jason's room. There's a couple here in my office. Yeah, you just leave these lemons laying around. When they dry up, they don't rot. Lemons don't rot. They dry up and they become like hollow and like hard as a rock. And my friends call them my petrified lemons. My petrified lemons, like weapons of mass destruction. When I want to replace and I want fresh lemons, I take those old lemons, I place them in a bowl, and when someone comes in as a gift and as an energy exchange, I will give them one of those lemons to take home and put in their space. What happens with these lemons? You're not going to believe this. This is one of these things I promise you, the seeing is believing. You can come in my home and slime a lemon. What I mean by that, let's say you come in here and you're a friend of mine and you are just totally PO'd. You've had a day from work, your family, everything else, and you come in and you sit at my kitchen table and you vent and you just let it all out, which I welcome. I mean, that's what friendships are for, right? And the next day I go in there and my lemon that's dried out is completely slimed. Completely. What do you do with that? Pick it up with a paper towel, get it out your house ASAP, and wash your hands. Replace it when you can. I've had 2 or 3 of my friends that slimed lemons. I've had a couple of them come in the house and say, I'm about to slime every lemon in this house, every lemon in this house. Okay. Because they're using it and they are finding out it is absolutely 200% true. And can you slime a petrified lemon? Can you slime a lemon that is totally dried up? You can. It was quite disturbing, but yes, you can. And I did it myself. I had a lemon laying here on my shelf. I don't know. I've got a fresh lemon in here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's in here. But I had a lemon in here on my shelf in my office, and it'd been in here for probably 2-3 months. So it was pretty rock solid, pretty dried up. And I come in from an icky doctor's appointment with a negative attitude and come up in this office slinging things and just ranting and raving. And when I come in here the next morning, all that energy was a slimed lemon. So yeah, it is the most amazing thing. I don't care if you don't do crystals, if you're not into feng shui, singing bowls and bells, please, by all means, give these lemons a try. It is absolutely amazing as to what happens. And you would be amazed at what people bring in with them into your home. And you're going to tell by that lemon. Smudging. There's never, ever, ever, ever a bad time to smudge. Never. Never. Okay. Some of people do it by the moon cycle. Some do it by each quarter. Do it when you feel it. When you feel the energy is heavy, when you feel you need a pick-me-up, when you feel you need to raise your vibration, it's time to smudge. Well, what do you do? What do you do when you smudge? You're going to take your smudge stick, and I prefer white sage. There's different types of sage. And you're going to light it. I do recommend sometimes placing a piece of aluminum foil at the bottom so no embers fall. We don't want to burn the house down, okay? But you're going to run counterclockwise in each room, okay? Counterclockwise, and in each room, as you come to an opening, whether it be a window or a doorway, cross it, okay? Move to the next room. I prefer top to bottom. Start in the attic, second floor, first floor, third floor. That's just my preference. You get into a routine of smudging any way you want. Do I smudge the property at least 3 times a year? I smudge my property. And how do you do that? You do it by just walking around and letting that smoke go from property corner to property corner. Do you know how many of my neighbors will catch me smudging and it will ask me to smudge their yard as well? It's protection. It is the removal of the negative. It will calm down rowdy spirits, noisy spirits. It will not get rid of them. It will not. It will calm them down. It will quiet them down for the time being. It does put off a heavy white smoke. If you're an asthmatic, and I am, make sure that you have your inhaler handy or whatever, and make sure you don't have any asthmatics in your home. That smoke, if you really smudge, and I mean really just smudge the hell out of the house, that smell is going to linger for a couple days. Okay. Can you smudge someone? Often. I cannot tell you how many times I have cornered my daughter and smudged her. She up in here slamming lemons and everything else with her agent. No. Mom will back her up in the kitchen, take a smudge stick to her. Up, down, all around. Just saying, yes, you can smudge people. Absolutely. The other way of raising the vibration is incense and aromatherapy, to which I love both. Now, I'm going to share with you my 3 faves, okay? First of all is bergamot oil. It is a spiritual thing. It is wonderful for dressing candles. The essential oil. Make sure you get the essential oil. It can be a little pricey. I just recently found an air freshener of bergamot and honey, which is totally wonderful. But bergamot is known as the holy water, the holy grail, and it is what is used for dressing candles. Okay. Patchouli raises the vibration in general, and I've never met anyone that did not like patchouli scent. I often have people walk up in my home and say, what is that? What is that smell? And it's patchouli. It's just raising the vibration. My other go-to is lavender. Okay. Lavender oil, fresh lavender, lavender incense. I do have lavender outside by the pool because once it rains, it is magnificent. Okay. But these are things that I use. These are things that I use in raising the vibration. And go back and refer to those cards of what we're talking about, the abundance mindset. It is the manifestation. It is acting as if you have what you want. What we're talking about here, raising your vibration. We want peace. We want serenity. We want to choose happy. Okay. And doing the work is, don't sit around and wait for it to happen. Yeah, I mean, spirit is going to make things happen for you, but do your part. Do your part. Like I said, choose happy. And these are just some of the ways that you can do so. And I think it's ways that you can truly enjoy this. Now, the crystals, again, that I recommend are amethyst, rose quartz, clear quartz, tiger's eye, citron, jade, turquoise, black obsidian, and blue lapis. These are not the ones that you have to use. You can Google, and like I said, Nikki is she is your crystal dealer. That is your go-to bureau. Okay. She is going to let you know what works in the crystal realm. And, I've mentioned many of my friends here that you all inspire me on these podcasts, and please continue to do so. Please continue to do so. Most people are really enjoying these podcasts. I'm getting some really positive feedback, and I need to know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. But this is part of when spirit speaks, because when spirit doesn't speak, what does the atmosphere need to be like? Well, let's go back to the biblical days. Everything was frankincense and myrrh. It was, all the things that God thought pleasing to him were incense and things like that. Well, shouldn't it be pleasing to you too? It should be something, like I said, that raises your vibration. And then later on, you learn that maybe your vibration is so off the chart. People do notice it. So, but that's what I have for you today. And I thank you again for joining me. The podcast is going well. I have enjoyed these so much. You have no idea. If there's any questions that I can help you with on crystal placements, feng shui, anything like that, don't hesitate to call me, text me, email me. And like I said, you can look for Nicole Colley. She is on shopping and fun stuff at JackieTomlin.com. I think it's her email address. Shoot her an email. Tell her Jackie sent me. Okay. What you're looking to do, what you're looking to accomplish. She will absolutely send you photographs of what she has, what it will work, and what it will cost. Okay. And she's out of New Jersey. So, but that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you again for joining me. Don't forget, I'm available for psychic readings at any time, JackieTomlin.com. Catch me on all social media, but only if you come from my website. I think the only one not listed on my website is my TikTok, which is Jackie Tomlin and a 0, the number 0. So, guys, I will see you again next week. Raise the vibration. Let me hear from you. What have you done with your space? And we will see you again next week. Bye.